In a first step, we will configure Teamcenter in a way that working as a FMEA moderator runs as easy and comfortable as possible. This configuration includes the activation of trace links, the configuration of primary and secondary application, and the correct representation of FMEA elements assigned to part structures, as well as graphical settings for the application's FMEA net editor and FMEA form editor. These basic settings are required only once per system. Teamcenter stores the setting and loads them automatically. For your work as FMEA moderator, you will usually work with the applications My Teamcenter, Systems Engineering, FMEA Net Editor, and FMEA Form Editor. To ensure fast access to these applications, you should at least add Systems Engineering as a primary application to the navigation pane. This is not absolutely necessary for the FMEA Net Editor and FMEA Form Editor, as they will usually be opened using the context menu command send to. To add the application of Systems Engineering, proceed as follows. At the bottom of the navigation pane, click the double arrow Configure Applications and select the entry navigation pane options. You can remove unneeded applications by selecting the unwanted application, clicking the minus button, and in order to add applications from available applications to primary or secondary applications, use the plus button. First, remove unneeded applications and then add the desired FMEA applications. Using the arrow keys, you can also configure the sequence. Please consider that in case you want to move an application that is already specified as available, e.g. from secondary to primary, then you also first need to remove it and then you can add it to the desired application view. When finished, click the OK button to apply your changes and close the dialog. The configuration is being saved and applications are presented as primary or secondary applications in the order you selected. The next option is to activate the creation of trace links. In order to be able to manually create trace links, you have to activate the corresponding menu. Proceed as follows. Select the menu path Edit, Options, and in the folder Options, select the node Systems Engineering. Activate the first two checkboxes, Link Trace Mode and Indirect Trace Link Report, and click OK. As a result, the symbols for creating trace links and traceability reports are displayed in the toolbar of the application Systems Engineering now. Another option that facilitates your work is the presentation of FMEA objects directly underneath the related part. Therefore, again open the Options dialog, select the folder General, and afterwards select the node Item Revision. In the tab General, expand the list Select Item Revision Type. Select the entry as part revision and then add the entry FMEA from the band Available Relations to the band Shown Relations. Click the OK button and the dialog closes. Teamcenter now displays FMEA revisions below the corresponding as part revisions. Double-click the FMEA revision to open it in the Systems Engineering application. You can also customize the appearance of the application's FMEA Form Editor and FMEA Net Editor. In FMEA Net Editor, you can make the following settings. Open the Options dialog, navigate to the folder Siemens, and then to the subnode FMEA Display. Here you will find tabs with options for each of the standard views. In the Structure Editor, you can customize the appearance of the view Structure Editor. The standard setting is None, which means that in the Structure Editor only the names of the structure elements will be displayed. By activating the radio button functions, also the corresponding functions will be displayed, and when activating the radio button failures, both functions and failures will be displayed accordingly. The checkbox StructureNet is for enabling and disabling the display of the numbers of predecessors and successors. In the tab FMEA Tree View, you can control if there shall be a graphical display about the position of functions or failures in the corresponding net. When activating the checkboxes, you will see nodes left to the functions or failures, and their color will give you information about the position in the corresponding net. If both dots are gray, the object is not linked to any other object in the net view at all. If the left node is colored, You can see that this object has at least one predecessor in the corresponding net, and if the right dot is colored, it has a successor. Logically, if both nodes are colored, it has both a predecessor and a successor. In the tab FunctionNet Editor, you can customize the display of the view FunctionNet Editor. Again, none is the standard setting. When you select the radio button structure element, the functions and the structure elements are shown. And when you select failure, the associated failures are displayed. Activating the checkbox FunctionNet will enable the node numbers to be displayed, meaning the quantity of successors and predecessors. In the tab FailureNet Editor, you can configure the display of the view FailureNet Editor. When selecting the radio button structure elements and functions, the structure elements and functions are shown. When you select functions, only the associated functions are displayed. Activating the checkbox FailureNet will enable the node numbers to be displayed. Further, you can configure the display in the application FMEA Form Editor. Therefore, open the Options dialog, navigate to the folder Siemens, and again to the subnode FMEA Display. In the tab FMEA Form Editor, you have the following options. The standard setting None will cause that in the columns Possible Failure Effect and Possible Failure Cause, only the name of the failures are displayed. The option Structure Element and Functions will additionally display the structure elements and functions in the mentioned columns. Functions will additionally only show the associated functions, and the option Structure Element will only display the associated structure element. Activating the checkbox Hierarchy Number will provoke the display of hierarchy numbers next to structure elements and functions. There's one last setting recommended. In IEC Teamcenter, it is defined that precise structures are displayed with a sea-green bound. This setting is very uncomfortable when working with a beamer, which you normally do in FMEA sessions. Therefore, you can change the background color to another color that provides more contrast. Again, open the Options dialog, select the tab Search, and in the field Search on Keywords, type in *precise* and press Enter. In the Preferences section, select the option PSE Precise Color Pref. As you can see, there are two options with the same name, so make sure you have selected the user setting, as you cannot change the site setting. In the section Current Values, type in the name or code of a color you like. Here I select green and click Change. In order to apply this setting, you need to go back to a different tab, because otherwise the OK button will not become active. Thus, go back to the tab Options and press OK. In case you had already opened a precise structure, close it and reload it by double-clicking the FMEA revision. Now you have finished setup and can start working.